Hello and welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial we are going to learn how we could create services by using the service class. So in the previous tutorial what we have done is that we have created a service which is going to which we ran in the background, and as we could see that the service completely runs into the background and it is not going to interfere with the user using the application. Now in this tutorial we are also going to create the same kind of service, but by using some different approach by using or by making use of the service class. So let's directly jump into the tutorial. So the first thing which we'll need to do is that we need to create a new service. So in the previous tutorial we have created this myIntent service which was a Java class, but in this case we are going to make use of a new method. So we simply go to this folder, right click on it, go to new and go to services right here, and as you could see there are two types of services. One is the intent service and one is the simple service. So make sure that you select this right here and let's name it as my service, and you make sure that these two things are checked. Then we hit finish, and as you could see we got the code for our service. Now the next thing which we do is that we create a tag as we have created in the previous tutorial. So we simply go right here and then we create a tag. So we type private static final string, then we type in tag, and again to the tag we assign the package name. So this tag basically allows us to filter out the messages which are required by us. So we simply copy this and paste it over here. So once we have it, as you could see the auto generated code consists of two things. So the first thing is going to be the constructor for this method right here, and the second thing is going to be this iBinder, and this is basically used when we are creating some binding services or bound services, and we are going to talk about the bound service in the next tutorial. So for the sake of this tutorial we won't be needing this. So what we do is that we simply delete the content inside it and we simply return null from it, and that is because we won't be using this in this tutorial at least. So now once everything is done, we go below the constructor and we are going to auto implement, or we are going to use code completion in order to add two methods. So we simply press Alt insert and we are going to go with the override methods, and the first method which we are going to import is going to be the onStart command, and the next method which you are going to use is going to be the onDestroy. So make sure that you select these two methods, then click OK, and as you could see the two methods are going to get added into your code. So this onStart command is basically going to be the start of your application. So this is going to execute the code which you are going to write in your service. So this onStart command is basically going to execute what you are going to write in the service. So we simply delete this code right over here, and now we have the other method which is called as the onDestroy, and this onDestroy method is basically going to perform the thing which is going to get executed when we destroy it. So inside this we want to mention the message when the string get destroyed. So inside this we want to display a message that the service has been destroyed. So we type in log.i, and inside it we pass the tag and then give a comma, and then we print out a message like on destroy called. Now the next thing which we need to do is that we also need to add in some code in the onStart command, and basically the code which we are going to write in there is going to run as a service. So let's go ahead and also print a log message here. So we type log.i, and let's say we pass in the tag, and next thing which we pass is the message. So it is going to display onStart called, which states that the onStart method has been called. Now the next thing which we do is that we create a thread inside it. So in order to create a thread here we type runnable r equals new runnable, and it is automatically going to add the run method for us. Now we need to fill up this method. Now let's say we want to display a message from time to time for, let's say, 5 times inside this service. So we use a for loop to do that. So we type for integer I equals 0, I less than 5, and I plus plus. So for 5 times we are going to repeat this set of code right here. So let's say we want to cause a delay of 5 seconds, and after the delay of 5 seconds we want to display some message. So we type long, and let's say future time equals, let's take the current time. So we type system dot current time in milliseconds. Then we add 5000 milliseconds to it. Now we type while. So while the current time is less than the future time, so we type while system dot current time in milliseconds. While this is less than the future time, what we want to do is that we want to execute this code right here, and then we are going to use the synchronized keyword, and to this we are going to pass in this. So we have already discussed the significance of the synchronized keyword in the previous few tutorials. So now once this is done, we simply open it up, and inside it we are going to specify the try block. So we type try, then along with the try block we also need to have a catch. So we type catch exception, let's name the exception as E, and this code right here is going to handle the exception, but we won't be needing this right now. Now inside this try we are going to specify the code which we want to execute. So the first thing which we need to mention is that we need to make it wait. So we type wait, and we want to make it wait for the difference between the future time and the current time. So we type future time minus system dot current time. And once the wait is over, the next thing which we need to do is that we need to display the log message. So we type log dot I, and the first thing as usual we pass in the tag, and then we pass in a message like service is running. Okay, now once this is done, and now once everything is done, the next thing which we do is that we go here and give a semicolon. That is because we missed it previously. Now the next thing which we need to do is that we need to create a thread. So we go right here and create a new thread. So we type thread, let's name it as my thread, type it equal to new thread, and to this we pass the parameter as R, and R is nothing but the runnable which we have created over here. So now once we have passed it into the thread, the next thing which we need to do is that we need to start the thread. So we type my thread, which is the name of the thread which we have just created. Then we simply use the start method. So we type dot start, and this is going to start the thread for us. Now the next thing which we need to do is that we need to return something. So we type return service dot start underscore sticky. Now if you don't understand what start sticky is, that it is going to restart the service if the service crashes in some case. So now let's go ahead and go through the code once again. So basically what we have done is that we have first created this myservice.java, then we have added the tag message right over here so as to filter out the messages which have the package name as this. Now the next thing which we did is that we have created constructor right here, and after it we have overridden two methods. So the first method is the onStart, and the next method was the onDestroy. Also we have a third overridden method which is the iBinder, which is used for bound services. So as we are not going to use this, we have simply returned the null value in it. Now the next thing which we did was that we initially declared a simple message into this onDestroy so as to display this message whenever the service is destroyed. And basically inside the service, the code which we want to execute inside the service was written inside this onStart command right here. Now the difference between this tutorial and the previous tutorial was that in the previous tutorial we didn't create a thread, and that is because that approach was different and this one was different. So whenever you are using the service class, so in this case as we are extending the service class, and in the previous tutorial we were extending the intent service class, so the intent service class is going to create the thread for us, but in case of the service class we need to create our own thread. So to create our own thread, there is a simple procedure. So we simply declare the runnable object, then inside it we want to put the code which we want to execute. So in this case, what we have done is that we have simply caused a delay by using this simple code right here, and we have also used a for loop so as to repeat the set of messages which we have printed out here, and a simple delay was added to it so as to give it a feel of a running service. Now the next thing which we did is that as we had the runnable with us, we created the new thread here and just we have started the thread. Now finally we have returned this service dot start sticky, and start sticky is basically used whenever you want to run the service again when the service crashes. So now once everything is done, we save the code, and one more thing which we need to do is that we need to go to this main activity.java right here, and we need to create an intent right over here. So we go ahead and type in intent I equals new intent. So we type in my service dot class, and then we simply start the service by using the start service method, and to this we pass on the intent which we have just created. So we press I, and once this is done we are good to go. So we save the code and execute it on the emulator. So as you could see, our application is up and running on the emulator, and if you minimize this and just monitor this thing right here, you could see that it is showing us on start called, and it is also going to display services running with a delay of approximately 5 seconds. So as you could see, it is going to print out this message right here for 5 times. So basically we have created a service which is running in the background, and we could also see our application running at the front, and the user is totally unaware of the service which is running right here. So that's how you create a service by using the service class. So in the previous tutorial we have created a service by using the intent service. Now in this case we have created the service by extending or by using the service class. So I hope you guys understood how to create services by using the service class. It is a simple method for creating a service. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and in the next tutorial we'll be learning something about the bound service. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.